Men are afraid women will laugh at them. Women are afraid men will kill them. Okay. Andrew, I feel like you might have thoughts on this one. This is a common sort of feminist talking point. Do you have any?
Well, I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. I wasn't able to read the second part of the tweet there, but I believe that you're referencing the Office of National Statistics. And this is an office which is in the UK, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the Office of National Statistics in the UK is talking about violent assaults, or is it talking about unaliving, or what's it talking about?
Can we pull it back up? Because I didn't get a chance to read it either, sorry.
I mean, I was more just interested in the first tweet. The secondary tweet is not particularly interesting.
Okay.
I mean, so there's...
Yeah, I don't know the answer, but it doesn't, yeah, it still validates my points that women are scared of men. So yeah, the kind of talking point here from the feminist side is that, well, wait, women are terrified of men because it could get physically assaulted. And we can kind of quibble over, when it comes to DV and things like that, who's really assaulting who. But I don't think that that would invalidate any type of fear when you say that, well, men are afraid of getting laughed at by women. No, they have other legitimate fears of women, like being falsely accused of certain things, or being Me Too'd, or any number of various things which they run into with women, and those seem like they're just as legitimate a fear as women when they talk about these other things, such as DV and things like this. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think that tweet is like 2 years old, but I have since learned that, you know, a lot of men commit murders, but also a lot of men are also victims of murders, and a lot of violence is men on men as well. So
Thank you, Robert.
My
also woman on man, and
yeah,
this
no,
this is often overlooked. That when we're looking at the national statistic rates on domestic violence now, you can make even a good argument that women are participating in DV towards men even more than men are towards women. And I can, if we got into, you know, SA stats, I could give you some good ones on that as well. But no, it's not really very cut and dry when it comes to the stats of who's really doing what to who.
Yeah, no, definitely, I would agree. And my opinion on that kind of stuff has changed as I've gotten a bit older, as I've been in like the relationship that I'm in now as well, and learned a lot more.
So it sounds like a man came in and just like
fixed me.
counter brainwashed your bullshit. That's what it sounds like. Is that what happened?
Yeah,
like
no.
some Jad came in and was like, listen, all this stuff that you're talking is bullshit, and we need to fix it. Is that what happened?
I used to be incredibly wokey, but it was, you know, I was uneducated in that sense. I didn't know much about politics and stuff, but I had what I thought was a good heart, and I thought I was, you know, doing the right thing and fighting the good fight and all that kind of stuff. But no, it's pretty accurate. You know, when I met my partner, he definitely taught me a lot, and, you know, I started to see the world how it really is.
But he didn't teach you to not call him your partner. Right?
Pardon?
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Robert.
You should fix that. You should fix ever calling him your partner.
Wait, what should...
Nobody ever wants to hear my partner. That's awful.
Maybe it's a British thing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Wait, go back to the tweet really quick. Just go pull it up to the top.
So I caught on.
Yeah, the top of it. Men are afraid. So this is really the more interesting one, though. Men are afraid women will laugh at them. This is the one, the sort of feminist trope. Women are afraid men will laugh at them. I mean, it sort of downplays the amount of catastrophe women can inflict on men, and sort of tends to paint all men as these predators or violent or this sort of thing. I mean, typical feminist trope that women are wonderful and men are predators and this sort of thing. But it'd kind of be like if a man said, pull it back up really quick just so I can think of like a sort of counter. So women are afraid men will chuck them, and then pull it back up, please. Pull it back up. Women are afraid women are afraid that men can chuck them, and men are afraid that women will falsely accuse them of, and they'll spend 10 years in prison. It's just kind of like, okay, bro.
Yeah, and one of the ways, just a very quick analogy before he moves on, that I often will use here is If you think about when you're walking down the street at night, if a group of men is approaching you, you very well may cross the street, and I don't think anybody would blame you. But women seem to get very upset that men won't hire women, even though it's the same exact concept. The same exact concept is this could really lead to a really bad outcome for me if I stay on the street where these men are approaching me. It's the same exact concept of this could lead to a really bad outcome for me if I hire females in my office place.
I
You mean
guess
like
both are scared from one another for certain things. It's just human.
In a whole office though, like only men, or like certain positions the woman's not qualifying, because I get that.
Well, like any listen, anytime a man hires a woman, he's taking a risk that he would not be taking with a man. That's the truth.
That's true.
And
With the
so
pregnancy,
because that is
and-
true,
That's true.
I understand why men guard themselves from this because of the reputational damage which can occur, or the financial damage, or even the prison which could occur from even an allegation which could cost him his entire company a livelihood that he would not have to deal with men. So I understand why they would select for men over women when it came to any job. And I think that this is the same kind of logic that women have, where they don't think that the men who are walking towards them necessarily are going to do anything to them, but why not be on the safe side? It's the same thing when men are hiring women, right? I'm not necessarily saying that she's going to do anything, but why take the risk, right?
But if you're a business owner, like you genuinely wouldn't take the risk at all, just knowing that there are
No.
media outlets that are PC or whatever, like you just
Would you
wouldn't
take the risk of the men at night?
No.
So,
No.
I mean, I am a
No.
business owner.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm going to
Right?
be
You
honest,
wouldn't
like
take
I'm
the
a business
risk.
owner. I have taken a risk hiring a woman who
Well, I'm
actually
not
ended up
saying
not
that
being.
But he's
you're
not talking
taking
about
the
you,
risk
everything
hiring
you-
a woman.
He actually asked me. would
No,
you-
but
okay. Well, would
he's
you
speaking in general.
Okay, wait.
Hang on.
If
Let us
it's
finish
a
our
street,
exchange. Let us finish our exchange.
yeah. If it was a street that I knew to be dangerous and it was dark, then no.
Yeah, then no, right, exactly. And so
Logically,
this is
no.
the-
Same with
yeah,
the
this is
hiring.
same,
Uh-huh.
This is the same kind of mindset that men have
That
when
you
it comes
use
to
for
hiring women.
hiring. I see.
They're thinking the same thing. They're not thinking that every woman's going to do this, or even most, right? But
Yes.
just the fact that they're a
Wow.
woman adds to this potential, so it's a risk. Most men are not going to assault you at night. They're not going to.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm only even commenting because I'm surprised men.
So what you're doing is you're leaning on the side of caution, right?
Yes, I agree.
Wait, so are you saying
insightful.
that you don't think women should get hired?
No, he's saying the risk for him is just not
No,
worth
do
it if you're a business owner.
Hang on. Since I understand that you know a little bit about basic logic, can you tell me the distinction between an is statement and an ought statement? What is the difference between a descriptor and a prescriptor? Can you tell me the difference real quick?
Wait, how is this relevant?
Yeah, what's the difference between a descriptor and a prescriptor?
What are you like?
A description versus prescription, because you just made an ought claim. So what you're saying is we ought do
No,
X?
honestly, I did
No,
kind of grossly.
I
I
gave
did
two
kind of
descri-
grossly.
Hang on, I gave two descriptive claims. I gave two descriptors.
Yeah.
I did not give a prescription. So why did you assume an ought? Why did you assume that I think X needs to happen when all I did was give a descriptor for two things which exist?
So
Yo,
wait,
Robert
what,
Tanner,
so
thank you for
what
the
were
gifted
you
50.
saying? You're just saying that it's like risky or what?
Yeah, I'm saying that that men who hire women are taking more of a risk than if they hire men. And I think that women, if they're being approached by men at night, are taking more of a risk than men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're descriptors. So
do you think it's like okay to?
Where did you get the ought claim of? So what you're really saying is this. Where did that even come into your brain? Can you tell me the exact moment that so what you're really saying is actually came into your brain?
I was being a little confrontational. I'm sorry.
But you were about to say, do you think it's okay what?
I was just trying to figure out like, because there's anti-discrimination laws about that sort of thing. Like, how do you feel about those?
Wait, but you were, no. You were about to say, do you think it's okay if what?
Oh, I lost my train of thought.
If men don't hire women, do I think that's okay?
Yeah, just for the
Yeah,
reason
I
that
think
they're
it's
women.
fine.
Like if every single male CEO didn't hire women,
Yeah, I'm
like
fine with it.
would you like it? Would you say that you like it? I'm curious.
I think that if
Like, what do you
it
think
could
is
be
positive for
demonstrated-
society?
Yeah, so I think if it could be demonstrated that the risk is highly mitigated somehow through some set course of laws or values, and now suddenly women don't pose more of a risk towards men in the workplace who happen to be their superiors, then I would be fine with it. But since that is not the case, I have no problem with men selecting who they want to hire and who they don't want to hire. And by the way, who the hell is anybody to tell anybody who they need to hire for their business anyway? It's none of your damn business. It's literally none of your damn business. If a man says, I don't want to hire any women just because they're women, why the hell is that any of your business?
I can speak
guess it's
from
the
experience.
government's
My
business.
partner and I own a company, and we now don't hire women because they mess us around so much. So we actually we avoid it.
Well, it's the
at all
same thing in the
costs.
content creation world. Here's a
rough
dirty
out
secret, right?
here.
Many male content creators will not work with female content creators because of how many problems they cause inside of the content creation space when it comes to slander, reputational damage, allegations, all sorts of things for drumming up drama. It's a really bad idea. A lot of women in the female content creator space also prefer to work with men over women because of this type of drama and slander which occurs. So it doesn't surprise me a bit. And this seems to be universalized regardless of the industry. It's a much higher risk. And so, no. So my answer very specifically is, if men don't want to hire women, am I for that? Yes, absolutely.
So what is your take on the government's position?
The government position on what?
'Cause don't they
on
have,
affirmative
like-
action for women and hiring status quos?
Not
It's
the
all a bunch of
affirmative
woke bullshit
actions.
that's totally illogical and can't be backed up by any moral stance whatsoever. That's my take on it.
I meant the anti-discrimination laws when it comes to hiring.
Yeah, I just told you. When it comes to anti-discriminatory laws, it's none of the government's business what a private individual does with their business, and who they choose to hire is none of anybody's damn business, and it never has been, ever. And saying that they need to have a quota, like in California, where if you have over 15 employees, now suddenly we have to have a diversity quota. Not only is that unconstitutional, where framers would roll over in their grave, but I think it's immoral. And what's more, I've never heard a good justified argument for it other than, but people were historically discriminated against. It's like they're still discriminated against. It's just that now we have laws that they evade. They still don't want to hire women. They just try to evade the laws so that they don't hire women.
I have one
It's like-
question though that came up. Like if you're a woman, let's say you are getting a divorce with your husband, and let's just say you discover this female lawyer that has a lot of cases in representing women in these divorce cases, then I think like we could even debate, like in this case, would it be lower risk to hire this woman versus a man, like a random man divorce
I think that there's
lawyer?
going to be all sorts of isolated cases.
Okay,
which
because you
can
said like
point to.
universal across industries, and
Yeah,
then
I
that's
think
actually
that
what
you
came
can
up to
point-
mind.
Well, hang on. I'm trying to answer the question for you, right? So I think that you can point to all sorts of individual cases where it could be superior to hire a woman over a man, right? There's all sorts of those. But that should be completely and totally up to the employer to make such a decision on behalf of his firm. Should not be up in any way, shape, or form to the government. It's none of their damn business what a person does with their firm. And never has been any of their business what a person does with the firm. It's a bunch of woke, progressive crazies who endlessly demand that such a thing be done, and it's not good for anybody. It's not good for society. It's not good for the workers. It's not good for the business. It's not good for anybody. And it suppresses wages, by the way.
There's
I have a
studies
question.
that
I have a question for Andrew. So if you're a woman, let's put you in a perspective of a woman, and you're super qualified for this job, but this guy doesn't want to hire you because you're a woman, how would you go about that situation? Like, how would you feel personally?
I'd say that's freedom, baby. That's freedom, right?
Wait.
Aren't we all about freedom? Aren't we all about the freedom?
Truly, I would
Well,
apply
I have
somewhere
a
else.
question. So, like, let's say you're a man who's never committed any crime. You would never strike a woman. You would never attack a woman. You'd never do any harm to a woman. And you are walking down the street at night, and a woman's coming, and then you see her, and then she's like, crosses the street in fear, and you are made to feel like you're less than, you're a predator. There's this assumption that you would have victimized her had she not done this. How's the man supposed to?
I would just be like, what the hell is wrong with her? Honestly.
But I don't know. I guess.
I mean, you could say
to
that to
Andrew's
the employer,
point,
like just playing
wanna
devil's
answer
advocate.
this.
Like you really just could go apply somewhere else. Just like how that man, maybe he shouldn't feel like his feelings are hurt. Maybe don't take it personal.
But really quick on that thing. Like it's this interesting thing. It's like, well, just his feelings are hurt. But like, what's worse? A woman doesn't get a specific job, or women paint all men as predator, violent rapists. I kind of feel like one is worse than the other.
Can
I
answer
think
this,
a
please?
woman
Yeah, why do
not
you
getting
want
the
to
job
work?
is
Why do they
worse.
always want to work for a bunch of predators anyway?
Why are we
It's like,
comparing which
well,
one's
men are a
worse,
bunch of
though?
predators, and they're like, we can't wait to go work for them, though.
Well, that's like saying, why would you want to put food on the
Okay,
table?
really quick, and then
wanna-
I'm going to move it on.
I want to answer this. First of all, it's not black and white. It's not all men predators and all women want to think that men predators. Because I've seen both sides, especially in the Middle East. So we have to take every case specifically. Yes, a lot of women nowadays, especially in America, complaining they use men, but in the other hand, they want to blame them and attack them. But if you have a really high qualified woman and you look at her history, she never complained of anybody. She come to work just to work. I would actually look at that case and yes, hire her. But if somebody who's, sorry to say it, but younger would come and it's one of her first few jobs, right? And she goes really, really by the book and she have this feminist mentality, I would not hire her. But you really need to select the people good, but you cannot classify people black or white in that specific matter, because I think both of us, male and female, in both sides of the equation, a lot of men did do things, not specifically here, but in other
maybe
places.
if you hadn't been on your phone while Austin was giving
What?
the pre-show instructions, mind you,
Took it to me?
you've been on the show 3 times. You've heard the pre-show instructions 3 times. We ask you not to use this word.
What word?
She doesn't even know. She's been here 3 times.
I don't
in
The R
fact,
word, the
in
R
fact, I
word.
scolded you on your first time on the show. We try to avoid these words because YouTube and these platforms tend to penalize you if you use these words. Anyways, for that reason, I have to move things on. Go ahead, Austin. Can we do the next tweet? Okay, can I have you read these?
Okay, I'll be gracing you losers with my holy presence to celebrate my birthday with my obedient slaves and mutts, live all the way from paradise in Hawaii.
Scroll down,
Save the
or
date.
actually don't scroll down. Fuck it. Next.
Wait, it's not, I think it's safe for work. The fantasy you didn't know you had, being passed around by 2 hottest, brattiest Asian doms, me and Goddess Vanity. Lucky for you, send each dom's tribute plus $20 and we'll make a group chat and mercilessly drain your bank account.
Yeah, I have a question for you. If a guy, like, part of his kink involved him like spending so much money on you that you would end up like bankrupting him, like, would you do it?
So the year that I started Findom and I didn't realize how common this actually is, like I basically was doing it and they wouldn't even tell me. They would just be like, drain me more. But actually now I will ask like their salary, I will get an idea of their bills and make a conscious decision not to drain them to like literally 0
Have you
or
drained?
negative.
Have you drained a guy
Have I drained a guy? Yeah.
to 0?
To 0 in 2021, yes. There was this guy, he was zelling me, and then he said he wasn't paying off his credit cards. So he had debt and had to quit Findom. So even though I didn't drain his bank account to 0, he told me that, and then that's when we, parted ways. But yeah.
Wait, did somebody in the chat says, I might have missed this earlier, said that you your husband's a millionaire?
So my ex and my ex, they are millionaires, and then my current fiance, like around 1 million net worth, but he's not making like $1 million a year. So by definition, technically, he's a millionaire.
Okay, his net worth. Does he work a normal job?
Yeah, he does actually. Like
Like 6 figures?
yes, like tech lead at a big tech company, which is the background I came from. We actually met through like
How old is he?
industry work. He's 26. He's one day older than me.
He's 26 and he has a net worth of $1 million.
Yeah.
Why are you guys meeting up with random dudes and fucking in front of them for $150?
It's truly just because we love it. Like the price
What?
actually drives away a bunch of like flaky people. Otherwise, we would just do it
Wait,
for like.
I think that's. I mean,
hotel
I wouldn't.
gas or
That
something.
seems low.
It is low, but you know what? If you raise it too high, like we'll just be like anticipating the next one. Like, oh, when's the next time we get a like
But
double dollar sub?
he's 26.
and
He's got
cuck?
$1 million net worth. He makes 6 figures. Why? It just almost seems like a safety concern too. Why would you fuck in front of randoms for? I mean, is it like
Like they can't film, they can't even see. We usually blindfold
this
them,
is like
turn them
turns
away.
both of you on?
It honestly, yes. Like in the beginning,
To
it was
have-
mostly turning me on, and then he tried it, and then he actually did like it.
To have some pathetic dude.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll usually do it when we're traveling, and it will be like a pretty nice hotel usually, and it's just like so exciting. Like we're
I
like a
feel
kinky
like-
couple who's like actually works in like a practical sense in terms of like
Yeah,
daily
but
life.
how's that not cuckoldry? Like if your dude allows his chick allows men to watch her get fucked on purpose, how's that not
No,
cuckoldry?
They are not watching. Because I
What
do
do you
kind
mean
of
they're
agree.
not watching?
Like I just said, they
What?
blindfold. You know, they can't record. They can't see anything that's
But you
not
said
safe for
before
work.
they watching. I heard you say they watched.
Yeah.
Like
Paid
they're in the room
$300.
blindfolded.
All of them. You've never
Or
had.
turned
A,
So they
around.
watch it without watching
or wear a
it?
bra. Or wear a bra and
so you're
pull a
saying
blanket.
you've never had a cuck watching you guys fuck? They all want to be blindfolded? I don't buy it.
So the first time, like yes, a sub did see us fuck, but then I started to get nervous a bit because I feel like my fiance, he was just under too much pressure, so then I pulled up the blanket. But technically, yes, one cuck has seen.
All right, this is sounding a little dubious, but okay. Next tweet. Go ahead, read it.
Do you think that all men should be locked up and abused and used by women?
Yes, yes, yes.
Clearly, engagement farming, that did not work.
Wow.
And that was August, so that was like
Yeah.
2 months ago or something.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, I was engagement farming. That's
Wait,
why there's yes.
You sound like
It's-
radical feminist.
But let me tell you, no one in my personal life or work life would call me a radical feminist.
Wait, pull it back up.
Like, I've never
Same
been
one.
called a feminist, actually, in my whole life.
Do you
Yeah.
think
This is
that
meant
all
to
men
mean
should be
kinky
locked
way.
up and-
Yeah,
Not
this is
like-
a kinky, consensual, and then clearly yes, because I want people to engage with it. I mean, it failed because I was shadow banned by Twitter, but sad life.
Okay. I don't think a lot of men would be able to get away with tweeting something like that unless I'm kind of misunderstanding some sort of context here, but
Like, there are male doms usually tweeting the same thing because it will usually be geared towards men.
okay,
Just
next.
context. Ill, WTF, I hate this trad wife trend / niche / whatever. TF, female supremacy forever.
So you're a female supremacist?
I would say like my persona for work, like yes, I do strictly have to say this. Like in my personal life, I don't think it's black and white. Honestly, I if I had to pick a stance, I would say male and female people should try to be equal overall.
All right, next tweet.
No such a thing.
I know, I think it's too idealized, but
Wait.
being male, maybe we should scroll up.
Is it safe? Can you check first, please?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, what is your biggest ick in a sub?
Yeah, being male.
Okay. All right.
I could have said being
Damn.
an ugly male. That's my ick, but yeah. Because a lot of them are
It's crazy.
attractive.
The misandry is crazy. All right, next.
It's like you're contradicting yourself
on.
all the time.
Yeah, you know, sometimes business
you-
and personal
you
is
wanna-
different.
you wanna read this
Yeah,
one?
Asian women are superior over white men, and that's a fact.
Oh
Why
my
did you
God.
censor men?
Because
Why did you put a star
well,
in?
specifically, if you look at my other social media, like I don't do this, but specifically for Findom, I censor men because it's just everything in Findom. It's anything related to men is unpleasant.
Okay.
Even
pull
the
that
word.
One back up. Pull that one back up. The same one. Ooh, F11, please.
Also, this is toward my target audience. Obviously, I would never say that to like a white man
This
I'm dating.
entire night. So you read this again. Asian women are what?
Are superior over white men, and that's a fact.
It's not.
Well, it's
actually.
interesting. This
It's not a
entire
fact.
night, you've
Yeah.
kind of been like.
Like we're the minority, and yes, that's what I truly
well,
believe.
no, but you've been like, well, you've been kind of super woke and like triggered by like any sort of like thing you disagreed politically when it came to you mentioned, you used all the buzzwords, homophobia, you talked about this racism and all this stuff, but like here you are, like here's a perfect example of you being racist and sexist. I mean, so
this is race play. I think it was mentioned before in a previous. Yes. And I actually specifically, if you go back to my tweets, I have specific disclaimers saying I only tweet race play tweets about white people and Japanese people, like white men and Japanese men. So if you don't consent to that, this is your warning to unfollow.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually have it very.
In your bio. That's not in your bio, so.
That's a good point, because at one point, like my bio like did get deleted, and I just kind of like did it in a rush. But you're right, I should add that.
Do you think it would be okay for a white worker to say white women are superior to Asian women?
Yes. A lot. Oh, wait, do you mean okay as in would I care?
Say if I decided for work I was going to tweet.
Wait, by the way, I said white men, but a lot of white doms, they're like, because I'm also in like the Chinese like kink community basically in Bay Area, a lot of them, and also internationally, like a lot of them love white women who specifically do race play for Asian guys.
No, I do know, I am aware of that.
Yeah.
So I do see why you do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's their business.
But would you say it was okay, say if my audience was women, I could say white women are so much better than Asian women?
So specifically woman to woman, no. I would never say the reverse either. I would never.
So it's okay to hurt men, but it's not okay to hurt women.
For the sake of business, yes, because it's like a kink.
It's really.
But what if it's
that's
just
the target
for work?
audience.
So what you're saying is you do it for work. So, and I totally understand that, obviously, with all the stuff.
That's why I have different work accounts.
So I totally get that.
Yeah.
But so why is it different if I did it just for work, not for personal? If I said, oh, well, I dominate Asian women, and I tell them that I'm better than them because I'm white, but it's only for work.
Yeah, because I think one is consensual and in a very contained environment where both people feel safe. They know this is a role play. It's been discussed, and there are disclaimers. And then the other one is basically just being out in society and, you know, spreading your prejudices, which is, she said personal life,
answer
right?
her question. She said it would be for work for her as a white woman to do this. So
I said that's okay for work.
Oh, you're fine with
Yeah,
hers.
I said that's
Fair
okay.
enough.
Because people are understanding. They have this
How many more tweets
expectation.
do we have?
Well, then I don't understand. What would your
Just three?
objection be to
Mm-hmm.
like a racial organization where the person says, who's running it, oh, I'm just funning because it's for work, and so send me money because I'm just funning because it's for work. I was just LARPing.
Wait, funny?
I wonder
I'm not serious. I'm just LARPing.
Oh, okay.
Let's say that they were the head of like a large racist organization. What would be the problem with them saying, oh, well, we're just kidding though. We're just kidding around though. So that why can't send me the money, right? Because it's for work. Why would that be a problem then?
Got you. So are they
Why do you get the pass just because there happens to be penises and vaginas involved? I don't understand.
Are they committing crimes, hate crimes,
No, they're
anything
not committing
like
any
that?
crimes.
Then maybe politically it's not okay, but in my viewpoint, socially, like I can't accept
Yeah, so in your viewpoint, socially, if they were the head of a racist organization,
yes, because there are a lot who say that about.
Okay?
I wouldn't love it. That's why race play is not even one of my kinks I commonly practice. It's not something I advertise.
I want to ask you something.
But however, I did have that one post really long thread saying specifically why, if white men or Japanese men ask about this, it's so much detail there. It's actually strictly about colonization. If they want like a colonization race play, then I will say yes.
But I want to ask you a
Imagine
question.
how absurd this is, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how absurd this is.
Well, who did
like saying,
Chinese people colonize?
What if the head of like the KKK or something, it was like, oh,
they commit
you know
crimes.
What? Hang on, guys. You know what, guys? This is my job.
They commit crimes.
This is my job to take money for this, and so because it's my job, that it's okay, right? It's okay. We're not committing any crimes. There's no criminal activity.
They do. They commit.
Can I?
It's not the same. It's not consensual in any way.
Back up. They
it's
don't.
not consensual.
If they're not committing any crimes, what would your objection to it be?
It's about consent.
It's about consent. Yes, literally,
Yeah,
kink
they're all
is about
consenting.
consent.
They're all consenting.
They are
No,
not
it's about the people who are being like made
like
those-
viewing it.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
about because
Are you publishing it
her
in like
audience-
a public
Yeah, they're
newspaper?
publishing it just like you.
For example,
Or
for
like they have a
example,
specific
consenting.
audience.
It's a public
for her
audience,
audience,
yes.
for her audience.
But
it's
wait, I
white
wanna-
men who want these comments made about them, so they
Yes.
get pleasure from those comments being
Thank
made
you
about them. For the example with
Yeah,
the KKK,
that would be the exact same
for the
thing
exact
that the head
no,
of a
it's not the
racist
same
organization
thing.
would
But
be doing.
can I-
Listen,
Where
can
are
I-
these
It's not the same
people?
thing.
Can I ask
Andrew,
you
you
a
talk a lot
question?
about
Wait,
0.1%.
wait,
Listen, Andrew, you talk a lot about isolated incidents where there's 0.1% people who might blah, 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 and then you say that's not even valid. So why are you bringing up like a 0.1% population who might be interested in a hate organization consensually humiliating them for the race?
Yeah, because
Why
I don't
are you
understand the
spending, like,
objection.
5
Hang
minutes on it,
Hang on.
though?
I'm trying to answer your question, but you cut me off every time I try to answer it. So I'm going to answer, then I'm going to ask. So the answer to your question is, I don't see what the objection here would be. What is your actual objection? If the head of a racist organization...
I didn't say I would have an objection. I said
You
morally.
gotta let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Okay, just let you finish. Let me finish my point. So what would the actual objection be if it's the head of a racial organization? All of the people who are involved are consenting. He's only publishing the things that those people want to hear because they're consenting to it, right? And they're paying him a bunch of money. And he says, hey, it's just for work. What is the objection to that?
I wouldn't say that I would, let's see. So I don't even know how to judge that situation. I don't think that I'm,
So, can
God
I give you
or
an
whatever.
objection?
You can just say that, like, maybe I have, like, a moral gray area and, like, I just can't answer that. Like, I literally don't
Moral
know.
gray-
I
I
just
can I please ask?
Wait,
Can I ask
You
her
can't
a
give
question?
me a single objection.
You know
can't
what I
give me a
mean?
single
Because-
objection.
I'm
Yeah.
I
trying
have
to
an
I'm trying to
objection.
ask you a specific question. What if I would be in that, I don't know, whatever app it's called, and I said, I don't want to work, like, I don't like black men at all. Like, I would talk just as you, but regarding like black or other race.
That
It would be
actually does
considered
happen.
that would
Oh.
consider racist. Wait, let me finish. That would consider super racist. But in this country, you can say about men, white men, anything you want. It's like everything you
Girl.
say about white men. It's so irritating even to hear that.
Should we just search up on Twitter all the tweets that are, like, just
No,
talking
hey.
shit about black men and people
I'm
loving
fine.
it, people
I'm
enjoying the service?
That's not true.
It's just a gray area, Kami. If you want to have
Yeah,
a
I'm
racial
saying it's a
organization, be
gray-
the head of it.
Whoa,
it's a gray area.
guys.
It's a gray area.
Guys,
I just feel like
this
her
isn't even-
comments
oh my
are like
gosh.
to sexually please people.
Yeah. It's
Now
very
a
different.
racist like
Thank
like
you.
the KKK, they want to harm.
Wait,
this
but
group
hold
of
on,
people.
hold
So
on,
it's
one
so
thing.
different.
Yeah, so but one thing,
Racist
but one
bullshit.
thing, but
It's
one
not
thing.
the same.
So one thing though. So you're familiar with the Twitter algorithm?
Yes.
So you might claim that you're sending this out to just your followers who are privy to the fact that you do findom and it's race play or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But let's say one of these tweets gets out into the greater Twitter algorithm and it is put in front of the eyeballs of people who don't know who the fuck you are, what the fuck you do, and they see some random chick saying some racist, man-hating shit.
Let me tell you, this is actually a common myth because I worked in tech. My
What is a
fiance
common myth?
has this algorithm would show it to basically, let's say, people who
You're
are not
actually
supposed to see
R-slurred.
it.
You have no... You're saying
No.
Twitter doesn't just
Look,
randomly
it's
put
not
things-
supposed to.
Andrew,
Listen up. Okay, let me finish.
No, you don't know
because
shit because you're not going to tell me about the Twitter
my
algorithm.
no, my
And
fiance literally like.
I don't give a fuck. You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know people. Do you know people who write the Twitter algorithm and Instagram algorithm like I do?
Yes, I do.
You do? Because
know
I do
people who
too.
like the
I actually
algorithm.
see it.
Yes, I do.
I actually
Wait.
see people working on
So
it.
you think...
all the time because
So-
that's what my friends do.
so you think-
it's a slip? It's not supposed to happen. That's why we're shadow banned because they only let you show it to people who are like liking stuff that you're following and also liking.
Yeah, you're 100% wrong. So the Twitter algorithm, just like TikTok...
You guys don't even know how uneducated you look to like STEM majors right now.
What the fuck are
Like
you talking
if you're a
Like,
coder, if you're a
that makes
programmer, if you write,
We have professional
if you-
programmers who work for us. What are you talking about?
I can promise you that my friends write better code.
Wow,
Because
that's
Oh, I
relevant.
can promise you that my
Actually,
friends probably.
and you guys actually look very stupid in front of people who do machine learning engineering.
What does that have to do?
A career. I'm saying that they're not supposed.
I don't
that's
understand.
a tiny slip because it's not supposed to happen. Period. Like, can you pull up a
But-
receipt
What
where
are you
someone
talking
said,
about?
"Oh my gosh, I'm just a
Okay,
vanilla
fine.
person and
We
I
can
saw
test this out.
Findom."
We can test this out.
And
Hold on.
it ruined
stop.
my life.
We can test this out. Have any tweet that you have ever posted
Yes.
get engagement higher than what you think would be commensurate to your following count?
So
You've never had a tweet end up in the algorithm, ever.
Unfortunately, no. This is the very sad part. Like, I actually have an assistant who helps me get other adult workers, to help retweet for retweet because none of my viral tweets have blown up. So please don't make that generalization. Like, I might have wished years ago.
Let's assume it did,
but
though. The question was a hypothetical. Let's
did-
assume it did.
That's interesting.
So you think nobody, wait, just to be clear, you think not one individual.
I never said that.
Stop. You think not one individual has laid eyes on one of your sexist or racist tweets without either being a follower
Yeah.
or knowing who you are or seeing that you've allegedly disclosed that this is all race play and it's all for laughs and all this stuff. Not one person.
I would say yes. This account has been shadow banned since like the second week I made it. I would actually say yes.
Right. I'm not gonna, okay.
If it popped up on anyone's algorithm without them consenting, just DM me.
Well, would you?
I literally said that in the post. I said, if you have a problem, block me, DM me, comment, whatever. You know, you're free to express your feelings.
Would you feel any sense
what?
of responsibility if someone, say a vulnerable young person, did see a tweet like that? Would you maybe second guess, maybe I shouldn't post that in the public domain?
If they're under 18, 100%. 100, because some people have done crazy things. They were like a middle school teacher and they had that account for work and then they started using the same thing to do Findom. Like, that's just not okay.
All right, next.
Like,
Well,
yeah.
Hang on. Before you go next, Shaliz, you had an objection. You said, well, but like a racial organization would be trying to do harm. What do you think a femdom is doing by draining men's bank accounts, stomping on their balls and shit? Do you think that that's
Pleasing
not
them.
doing harm?
It's not doing harm because they signed up for it. Like, they want to
That
see
would be the
that.
same
That's
logic
on
with
them.
the racial organization, right?
Are they paying
No.
$44 to get
No,
your
Let's say they
racial-
were.
and
Let's say they're
give
paying
consent?
$44 a month to be a part of it.
So it's a little bit the same. Like, these people like joined this group because they collectively hate this certain type of people, and then these people joined this website because they want to see this type of.
Her clients
Play.
want people who hate men to abuse them.
So you
That's
think I have the power of the whole
what they want.
organization?
Hang on, her clients want women who hate men to abuse them. Somehow that okay, but when we get to racial organization who wants to drum up hate towards this, I don't even understand how you could say
Honestly-
that these things,
but
that that's
honestly,
not
how
How
harmful.
am I drumming up hate?
But honestly, none of it's okay because it's like you're feeding
Right.
people's freaky fantasies, like that they
Yeah.
shouldn't have, you know. So it's like, okay, she decided to do that. That's on her. That's her moral compass,
I
you
think
know.
that's an opinion, and I agree.
Yeah. So it's like
I
that's
did
what.
decide after years of debating to do it.
Let's move the. Can we see the next one? There's just 3 more, right, Austin? Okay, can you read it?
I love how all the hottest Asian doms have hot Asian boyfriends. Why? Can I say these things? Why? Let's say white beta males need to know what's up.
No, say it.
Okay, white worms need to know what's up. They can only be our cucks, subs, and objects of abuse with their inferior ass pink dicks. Asian supremacy era.
I mean, how is this just not sexist and
really
racist
bad.
on its
Yeah.
face? I
Wait,
mean,
hang on,
An
Brian,
ick I have
Brian.
is pink
Okay,
dicks.
if the victim wants racism from the femdom, that's fine. But if the victim wants racism from a hate group, that's not okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
Look at the
makes-
detail,
that
like, did
literally
the
makes
hate
no
group-
sense. That makes no sense.
no sense.
Did the hate group say, like, you can get off to this? Like, I know you like to get off to this. And
Well,
that's
I don't
exactly why you're
understand
paying.
why having penis and vagina involved somehow makes it less of a hate.
That's
it's
not
the
what I
same
said.
exact thing applied,
That's
except now
not
you're
what I
adding
said.
sex to it too. So
Big
you're like,
Sass Energy
okay, the
donated $200. This inferior Asian woman clearly lacks any sense of accountability. LOL Streamlabs Play.
Yo, big sass. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You want
Yeah, so
responsibility?
it's like this,
I
right?
actually don't really.
You're
care
saying
what other people
oh,
think.
okay, like the hate group would be fine as long as they're having sex too. Like, what do you
Wait,
mean?
what?
You would be you're peddling the same thing. You're peddling racism. Hang on, you're peddling racism to people who want the racism. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Okay,
I also
I
don't
already-
really get. Hold on, really quick. I also just don't get.
okay.
You came in here at the beginning, like super woke, liberal, like
Yes.
SJW. Oh, is that a bit homophobic? You literally are calling white people worms. Like you're so fucking racist. Like, and you
work
wanted to
only.
come in here on your woke fucking like, oh. How dare these misogynists be?
I've dated people
oh,
of all
the
races.
the homophobes and transphobes.
This is
but
for
you
work, it's
fucking
not
on
that
your Twitter,
serious.
on your yeah, cool.
Like,
whatever accusation.
wanna
Yeah, I've got a podcast. It's
rebuttal-
for work too.
Yeah, I
Cool.
want to rebuttal what Andrew said before
So if
you
I'm
cut
on
me
my
off.
podcast for work and I'm like being racist or sexist, it's okay, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Isn't that what?
It's fine, right?
Isn't
It's for
that
work.
low-key what
Hang
you
on,
do with
it's not though,
misogyny,
Ryan.
though?
Unless
Like,
you're-
and
We'll talk
people
about
who
misogyny.
subscribe.
Yeah, we'll
and
talk
people
about
subscribe,
misogyny.
and they
yeah,
want
can you
you to
even
keep making
define here? Define misogyny. Go ahead.
dislike of women as a whole. I'm guessing that's the definition.
I mean, an attempt was made.
dislike or hatred of women.
Okay, so what
in
evidence do you
general.
have of that? Go ahead.
No, I actually don't agree with that, but I've seen the comments and I do see how it could be interpreted as misogynist. For example, you will pick on like one girl and then people will think that you're talking about all women. Like I do see that, but I also see that you guys get tips, you guys get engagement, you guys have supporters who really like certain sentences that are said. Usually the comments, they'll be about like the
literally
viral
called
parts.
white people worms. And you have an Asian supremacy thing, and you think men are terrible.
Why not? There's
Oh my
Asian
God, that's
hate in
fucking-
U.S. and I'm not saying like, hey, white people should beat up Asian people more. Like
When I say about
I don't
who's
see how that's-
sorry, who's beating up the Asian people? Are you talking
You
about San
haven't
Francisco? What are you talking
No,
about?
New York, San Francisco, L.A.
Yeah, is it
Canada.
It's white people doing?
Yes, mostly
okay.
white people.
No, that's
Mostly, mostly white people.
And can you like seriously 99%?
nonsense. Complete nonsense.
And then some in New York are black people. The ignorance,
Oh my
ignorance.
God.
I think if you're Asian and you're subscribed, you should
You are
unsubscribe
Here's your
today.
ignorance right now by
You're
giving
very
you the
ignorant.
stats. How about the stats? Would you like the stats?
Look at
Oh
the
my
stats.
God.
Do you know
Wait, okay,
what
hold on.
model
I do.
minority means? Like, does that mean anything
I
to
mean,
you?
sure.
Where
Hold on,
like,
I don't wanna
Asian
get-
people
I don't
are
wanna
like
get too-
oppressed, and I'm saying
Asian people are
supremacy.
oppressed?
I should be able to have
Oh
this
my
kind
God.
of expression where
Asian
it's just
supremacy?
going
Like what?
against. Look,
Asians
I
are not
do
oppressed,
stuff
it's
to like for work
liberal
to be
bullshit.
controversial as well, right?
Okay, all right.
For example, this
can I
podcast.
I'd rather not pull up the stats just to keep things,
I wanna tell you something. When I talked before and said about the commercial, it was beautiful people. Immediately I said, you said black people, and I never mentioned black. When I heard
I said
what you
diversity.
guys read about what you wrote,
Yeah.
and I'm not originally American, it literally makes me a bad feeling. Like,
Got it.
It's really, really
But
horrible.
you
to
don't know
hear.
about findom, kink, consent.
No, but I want to tell you something. The most hypocrisy here, for majority of feminists like you and like super
wouldn't say I'm a
liberal,
feminist.
yes, you are. This is your mentality. This is how you
Okay.
speak. The most hypocritical thing is to put white men down and treat white men like the biggest devil. You don't put the right thing on point. You say people are racist to Asians. People are like racist to other. This is completely bullshit. You're a hypocrite. You don't consistent with your point of view. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
hurt you, but you're
But
not
I don't-
consistent. You present yourself like you're going with billionaires and millionaires, but you
Yeah.
never mentioned it's from sex work and
I did in the beginning.
in the beginning, and it's bullshit because anybody, even me in my age, I can come and be sexual and open a whatever account and I can make a lot of money from sex. But the whole point, if you're intelligent and you know, like what you said to Andrew about computers and
Yeah.
coding and all that, it
I
just shows how
founded multiple
stupid you are.
tech startups.
Wait, but it shows that you're really stupid because if you have that ability to be so smart with computers and tech and you go into this porn and doing these degrading things and writing all this sorry shit on whatever it
Okay,
is,
I'm just gonna
it just shows that you're stupid.
I'm just gonna say you're
Big
playing
Sass
checkers.
Energy donated $200. Almost all violent crime against Asians is from
I also
blacks.
said blacks
This
in
board
New
is
York.
so delusional. 60-13. If you know, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Good talk. Good
Look,
talk. Let's
just
do the
to
last two
address
tweets.
that one thing, like I said, it's not that serious. It's for work. It's not hypocrisy.
But that's what I'm saying. You traded your values for money. If you're doing something for wait,
like
wait,
I
wait.
said,
Let
why
me
do you
finish.
think it's so cheap?
Talk
I mean-
so
Do you
much
know how much I
nonsense.
make from tech
Wait, wait, wait.
startups?
Wait, wasn't
You don't.
Hitler just doing it for
You
work?
just yeah.
Oh my God.
But let me just you
my
just
God.
yes, he
What
did
crime
just
did
did
I
it for
commit?
work. It's a good
What crime
example.
did I commit,
He
Brian?
listen, it's not a crime.
I'm
You
just-
you saying I'm doing tech, and you told to Andrew. You tell to Andrew, oh, my friends are
You
doing
guys are, like,
doing.
straw men.
Wait,
You
let me
argue.
finish my point, please. You told Andrew
Oh
earlier. You told Andrew earlier. You don't know my friends.
I don't think any
Oh my
of
God,
this.
she doesn't
This
even
is
let me
literally
finish.
for
Can I please finish my point?
work.
You told Andrew before. You don't know the people I know. They coding. They doing
Yeah,
computers.
he
They doing
probably
this.
doesn't.
But wait, you speak so much rubbish. You even think before you speak. Let me finish. And then you traded your values for money just because
No.
it's work and sex work. You justifying this shit.
No,
it's not
no.
justified. Yes.
No,
You-
I literally did. You not hear
my
the?
God,
You know,
I
think you
heard
were zoning
everything.
out. In 2021, when I realized it was sex work, I took a hiatus. Even though it's not
You
even
are a sex
work.
worker. It doesn't
And
matter
yes,
if they see
then
intercourse.
I made a conscious
Wait a second.
decision
You
to not put the
let me
stigma on
finish.
to
Let me
others.
finish. Let me finish, please. You keep interrupting me. You know what disturbed me about you personally? I'll
Okay.
say this to you without. I mean, I don't mind if you get offended.
I actually
I
will,
tell you what
so.
disturbed me. You claim to be this intelligent, high-end, high-class woman, high-value woman, when and intelligent. They know about computer and coding. And in
I
the end of
graduated
the
from
day,
Carnegie
and in
Mellon
the end, let me
University.
finish. Don't interrupt me. And in the end of the day, you just another. Sorry to say that, another cheap hoe that sell tweets and bullshit over social media and claim to be higher than anybody else. Sorry,
Love
but
it,
you
love
are
it.
more
I hope
trash
this
than
one gets
anybody
clipped
because
on TikTok,
this woman,
and I
sorry,
go
this
viral
woman,
finally.
this woman here that was saying in front of everybody that she did OnlyFans and sex in front of porn, whatever. She sits, and I respect her way more than you because at least she was honest and spoke straight to the camera without manipulating, maneuvering, bullshitting. You sitting here trying to maneuver everybody, make them feel like you're better than them when
I
you are the lowest and the lowest
never
in the
intended.
class. No.
Okay, that's your opinion.
You're
Look,
very
I don't
low.
judge others.
I'm
you know,
not
whatever.
judging
Since we're
others.
calling about Christian values or
Honey,
whatever on the
I'm not
podcast.
Christian. I'm
I would
Jewish.
never judge her.
First
I
of
would
all,
never judge you.
First of all, you can judge me. I don't care. I know who I am. You can judge me. First of all,
That's how I
have
feel. I
Jewish
don't care.
values. I have
I'm
Jewish
not
values.
offended.
Okay, I have Jewish values. This is the original.
If you want
so,
or for some reason want to portray yourself in a different way,
yeah.
I think it shows that you are a good person, you have good values, and you value the
Yes.
right things.
Like my other accounts that I can.
and the fact that you are
I'm
trying
doing
to set
you're
fundraisers.
contradicting yourself,
I said
left
so-
and right.
You know what? Maybe people are not so black and white. They're not so one-dimensional.
It's not about
Maybe
black
the
and
people
white.
you
You lying
met,
and you contradict.
Maybe most people in the
you
world.
say
I do
one thing
agree.
and then you jump to another. You say one thing and then she at
For
least
me, I
comes
have a very clear
straightforward, saying in
definition.
front of everybody,
Business and
"I
personal."
did porn." No, I can speak louder. I did porn. My boyfriend helped me to realize what I am. I grew up. I grew out of it. I know it's not the right thing, but you come in here so prejudiced, lying completely in front of the camera, trying to manipulate smarter
did I
people than
lie?
you. He's an expert with what he does. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so
When did I
successful
like? Did
with
they
the
go to
podcast.
Ivy League schools?
Listen to me. Otherwise,
did
you
I
would
have
not be so
street smarts?
successful in what you do with the podcast.
Who's
And you're
gone to
sitting
an
here
Ivy League?
claiming to be better than him and better than Andrew and better than all
Did
the girls
Andrew?
here
When did
when you
she
actually
claim
the
that?
lowest.
Did you? I don't think you claimed that.
I did
Yes,
not.
she did.
I did not. Just replay
No,
I-
she
that.
didn't. She said to Andrew, people gonna laugh at you.
Oh, go ahead.
No, she didn't say
Yamete.
I see
Yeah,
value. I see value
About
in
algorithms
you
and
having
stuff.
separate
Yeah.
accounts, and I see.
And makes
I
a very
you make
conscious
yourself
decision
look
after
stupid.
years of
Wait,
thinking.
okay. Let's just get through the tweets and
Yeah.
then I could.
Okay.
I thought there were two more. Oh, we already did it.
Oh, the one
right?
we did.
Okay.
Okay. Even worse, they think women want to sleep with them. Can you
Oh,
scroll up?
I think
I'm like curious.
I think it's just double check it. I think it's safe though. I think it's safe, boys.
That does sound like something I would tweet on this account.
Whatever. All right. That was.
Would a true misandrist hire males after many female employees have proved them unreliable, and me wanting to mitigate risk?
That's. It could
Sometimes one thing leads to another. It's not hypocrisy. It's learning and making different decisions based off of my previous experiences.
Yeah.
But you represent
And making different
It's
business.
like I will represent
Look,
myself.
I've talked about personal. I've talked
Oh my
about this
God.
business. I talked about that.
But
business.
it's not
I'm sure
business.
For me,
it's not business. It
it's an
doesn't
opinion.
justify it. Even if it's business, it doesn't justify.
Look, my morals are my morals.
If a
I said it's a
prostitute
moral
would
gray
sleep with
area
a
for me.
16-year-old, she said, it's okay, it's just business. I don't care if he's 16, he paid me money. You don't justify this bullshit because of money. Money, it's not higher hierarchy more
It's
than
not.
values.
Clearly, I have
money is
values
here.
about,
Values are
you
here.
know, under 18 people. Like, that's just a hard no. But I already acknowledged this is a moral gray area.
Bottom
for me.
line.
Am I not allowed as a human to have gray areas in my morality?
Bottom line, sweetie, you sell yourself to the devil, you sell your morals to the devil, and that's it.